That's a frustrating part. Yeah. All right, everybody. Grain 2 is going to be starting soon. Zam is off, but we're missing both teams and the officials, so we'll leave it in the lobby for now. Let you guys enjoy some interesting music. All right, Rider fans, looks like we've got game two coming up real soon here. We have the Ames Flyers on the ice already, and now we're just waiting for the Roughriders to join us. Not necessarily sure what we're going to be in for this one, but it will be a game for us to see. Not sure what all the delays are. One thing to note is that Ames is missing a goalie at the moment, and we still have no Cedar Rapids team. We've got two officials out here, so we'll kind of continue waiting and seeing, and just letting you get some good sounds of the ice rink while we are waiting. All right, Ames goalie is now back out. At this point, we are still missing a Rough Riders team. All right, now we got our Rough Riders coming out. So at least a couple of them. Missing quite a few players. We're starting to get the rest out. Clock has started. It's going to be an abbreviated warm-up for your Rough Riders. So with them having just played, I don't know that that's going to be much of a problem. Jackson Baker back in net for this game. Just under 2 minutes left in this warm-up. .45 seconds or so left in this warm-up period. But hopefully everything looking a bit better in this particular game. But we will see. All right, warm-up period is over. And we're going to see how we decide to line up for this second game here. Not sure that all of you saw that on the screen, but Ames just skated a little bit of a lap and then had an issue where it looked like they were almost bowling at the end. All right, Riders are coming back out. Looks like we're going to be starting with Jackson Baker in net. Going to have a forward line of Sebring, Zek, and Donkey, with Smith and Rasmussen playing D. Looks like the other pairing is going to be Lanyo and Elliott. Face-off is 1-2 Riders. Tried to get a pass all the way through. Gavin Sebring is going to be first on the puck. Wedged up against the boards, and we're going to have a penalty right away. Couple of block shots. And now puck dumped in, and now the penalty is going to get called. Ames gets called for a cross check. Had an early power play here for your Roughriders. Going to have Kettleson, Sebring, Domke, Rasmussen, and Zek as this power play line. Face off one by your Riders, one back to Maverick Rasmussen, shot off the side of the net. Riders are playing some good pressure here, but Ames is able to break through. They've got an odd man rush happening. Shot in and out of Baker's glove. And now we've got another penalty coming. Riders are going to get their second 5-on-3 opportunity. All right, play getting back going here. Face-off is won by Ames, but they didn't clear it out. Maverick with a shot off the side. Player trying to wrestle with the puck. And Ames is going to be able to get the puck out. Ames gets a breakaway in, but Gavin Sebring comes in with a really hard back check and able to make a fantastic play. Maverick takes it behind the net, pressure right away. Nav able to deal with it very nicely. Puck knocked off of his stick. He's able to regain control. Brings it into the zone, but offside. Second line coming out of Hunt, Palmer, and Johnson, along with Elliott and Lanyo. Face off one to Ellis Palmer off of his stick. Pass back to DJ, then pass back up to Palmer and knocked back into the zone. Hunt putting on some pressure. One player out for Ames. Now it's just a 5-on-4. Puck is into the Cedar Rapids zone with DJ. Passes it around to Breck Johnson on the other side. Up to George Lanyo. George falls down, and puck ends up in the zone and passes it over to Jackson Hunt. Jackson tries to get it into the middle, but it's off. Now Breck Johnson has it, trying to buy a little time, gets it to DJ, passes it back up to Ellis Palmer. Ellis then dumps it into the zone. Puck's behind the net. Ames is able to start skating with it. Comes across to an open Ames player. When Hansen gets the puck, but then it gets knocked over. Passes it back up to Jackson Hunt, bringing it towards the zone. Loses control of the puck. Back to Ames, gets it. Tosses it a little bit deeper. Flynn Hansen putting on some pressure. Able to try to win the puck 1-on-4, but doesn't get it. Ames trying to bring it up. Flynn's able to coat the puck off. Flynn has it again. Tries to pass it across. Peddleson with the puck. Tries to put it through. Manages to get it through everybody, but we're going to play on here. Puck's behind the net. Flynn's able to get a stick on it. Kettleson able to get it against the wall. Ames able to get up and through. And Ames able to get the puck on a breakaway situation. Saved by Baker. Coming back around. And no goal. No goal. Goaltender interference. Everything is back to full strength. And we are going to get a goaltender interference call on Ames. So Cedar Rapids right back to the power play here. Face off one back to DJ Elliott. DJ tosses it over to George Lanyo in his feet a little bit. Isn't able to quite get a shot in. Zach Kettleson gets the puck, tries to get it in. Pass out front, doesn't quite connect. Gavin Sebring and Corbin Zek trying to wrestle with the puck. Ames is able to pull away with it though. Puck off the side of the net from a shot. DJ with the puck. Head up, tries to pass it across, just out of the reach of Gavin Sebring. Yeah. Gavin Sebring gets the puck again, lost in the feet a little bit, in DJ's feet now. Tries to pass it through, but doesn't manage to connect with everybody. No icing on this play. Corbin Zuck in on the forward check. Corbin putting on some pressure. Ames puts it out, misses everybody. Liam Smith able to recover in the Cedar Rapids zone. Off of Liam's stick, though. Puck comes up and over. Corbin trying to steal the puck on the sideboards here. Liam Smith able to use his body and win the puck. Tries to bounce it around to Breck Johnson, but it ends up getting by him. Pass goes back across, blocked by a Cedar Rapids player. Jackson Hunt putting on a forecheck, trying to win the puck. Ames puts it back across the ice for an Ames player to skate into. Liam tries to win the puck back. Passes it over to Maverick Rasmussen, off of his stick to an Ames player. Maverick is able to steal, passes it up to Breck Johnson. Breck with the puck. It is a 2-on-5. He's getting a lot of pressure from behind, tries a little self-pass. Doesn't quite connect with himself, but able to delay a little bit. DJ puts it back into the zone, but nobody was quite ready for it. Ames gets it in. Jackson Hunt with some good back-checking pressure. George Lanyo able to steal the puck for a second. And we have a penalty on the Rough Riders. Ames was able to get back to full strength. Jackson Hunt going into the box for a hooking. Riders coming out a little bit faster in this game. Gavin Sebring on the faceoff, wins it to the side. Able to win the puck, tries to get it out, shot off of the pad, and then another shot goes behind the net. Gavin Sebring trying to get it to George Lanyo, didn't connect, and now we've got a battle in front of the net as the puck's out by the point. Puck now behind the net. DJ able to try to skate it to the side, and then gets taken out, but no call. And Gavin Sebring passes it up towards Claire Domke, but stick in the air, so it didn't quite connect. Ames tries to regroup behind their own net. Clara putting on some pressure. Ames skating it in, and we have an offside. Face-off is one back into the rider's zone. Ames able to control. Shot into Baker's glove, and a save. Penalty is going to clear. Penalty is going to be cleared as soon as the puck is dropped. Pass goes up. We're going to have an icing here unless Hunt is able to be incredibly fast. Not happening though, and we're going to have a face-off back in the Cedar Rapids zone. Face-off won by Ames, but Cedar Rapids was able to kind of mix it up, able to now get it out of the zone. Ames now back into the zone, skating it in against Dorf, and shot and score. Face off won by Riders to Maverick. Maverick tries to pass it up to Clara. Bounces off some sticks into the zone. Gavin Sebring on the forechecking pressure. Able to knock it off some sticks onto Claire Domke's stick, but it was knocked off from behind her. Claire's got the puck. Tries a shot off of the release pad. Corbin now putting on some pressure. Able to deflect it. Liam Smith at the point. Tries to pass it in. Goes off of an Ames player. And then off of the zone, Maverick Rasmussen giving chase to start the regroup. 3 Ames players in deep. Cedar Rapids able to then get it out, but off of a couple of sticks. And then a shot blocked by Maverick Rasmussen. Puck's in the corner. It's a little 2-on-1. Add away, Mr. Baker, able to make a couple of fantastic saves on a 2-on-1. And we're going to have another penalty on Ames. Cedar Rapids goes back to the play-over-play. Kettleson line going out. So Kettleson, Sebring, Domke. Face off one. Back to DJ. DJ put a shot on that got blocked out in front. Unfortunate pass that got partially blocked. Shot goes in on the goalie and saves. Ensuing face-off. Shot that was off of Baker's pads. Gavin Sebring having a little bit of a hard time handling the puck. DJ giving some pressure. Puck now is out.
David, stop it.
Puck's now back in the middle. We're having a heck of a lot of contact going on. Wyatt tries to take a shot, but it's blocked. Puck comes across to Corbin Zek in the neutral zone. Corbin's able to bring it in. Shot from long distance. Stick out beside the net. Cedar Rapids able to handle a rush going in front of the net. And now we've got a mess in the corner of 5 players. Going to be very soon 6, trying to get this puck taken care of. Ames is able to get the puck. Skating it into the middle. Shot goes beside the net. And we've got a stick stuck in the boards. DJ meets the person coming around the net. Ames has got a lot of control of the puck. We've got a collision behind the net. And now we've got a penalty coming. And looks like it's going to be on your riders. DJ's going to earn himself a checking penalty. Or, nope, I'm incorrect. It's going to be Zek earning himself the checking penalty. Ames is going to the power play. Face off won by Ames. Okay. Backhanded pass up, bounced off of an Ames face, and then ended up outside of the zone. Ames bringing it in. And then we've got more collisions in front of the net. And it looks like maybe we're getting another penalty here. Looks like the official is going to be taking both, so we're going to have coincidental penalties here. Maverick and a player from Ames, both for charging. All right, ensuing face-off, won by Ames. Pass out to the point. Breck Johnson's able to steal it. Breck is in on a little bit of a breakaway, but the puck's kind of bouncing on him, and he was not able to maintain control and speed. Ames got the puck back in their zone, looking to regroup. Breck's in hot chase. Ames player is able to get around him. Shot goes beside the net. Jack Kettleton is able to get it. Puck's up to the point. Blocked by George Lanyo. Puck back out to the corner. Pass across. And Breck's got it. Passes it up to Jack Kettleton. They are going in 2-on-4. Shot goes beside the net. We are just about to even things up here. George Lanyo with the puck. Tries to pass it up to Jackson Hunt, but it goes off of a stick. Jackson Hunt gets it in deeper onto the goalie. Corbin Hunt in hot pursuit. Puck's now back into the neutral zone. Ames got so much control of it. Coming around the net, DJ's able to knock the stick, or to knock it off of a stick, but then his stick gets knocked out of his hand, so he's got to go retrieve it. Puck comes right back to him as he's getting a hold of it. Passes it up to Corbin. Corbin with a deflection out to Jackson Hunt. Able to get it deeper into the zone to Corbin Zek. Tries to get a puck across, but it ends up off of Gavin Sebring. And then we've got another shot. And Corbin gets a little bit tackled from behind. No call here. Jackson Hunt's pressuring. Gavin Sebring is able to get the puck, but it is outside of the zone. And we are done with the first period here. Very eventful first period. It looks like we are all evened up in the penalty box. And now everyone's taking a break as we go into the second period. Physicality of the game definitely is more than we've seen most of the rest of the season. But your Riders are starting to handle it a little bit better. Ames is ready to go in the second period. We are waiting for the clock to tick down to 0 and for your Riders to retake the ice. All right, we're going to get your second period going here. Your Riders are coming back out onto the ice. Looks like we are going to start off with Sebring, Zek, Domke, Smith, and Rasmussen, with Jackson Baker in net. Referee dropped it, and face-off was won by Gavin Sebring to the side, but Ames is able to control. Puck attempted to be shot in, but was deflected off of Maverick's leg. Puck into the corner. Puck then was attempted to be thrown to the middle. Puck now up to Corbin Zek, off of his stick, now off his skates. And Gavin Sebring reaching for the puck, but was a little bit outreached for it. Corbin Zek back checking hard. Able to get the puck into the corner. Maverick had his player tied up in front. Maverick Rasmussen was able to then steal it off, getting bodied a little bit by an Ames player. Puck goes back out to the slot, but then deflected off of the goalie's pad. Puck's behind the net. Stick stolen a little bit by a Ames player. Now back around the net to Liam Smith. Liam able to wedge the person off, ended up stepping on something. Gavin Sebring now behind the net, up to Liam Smith. Head up, passes it up to Corbin Zek, but there's a player right on him. And offside. Full line change going on. We've got Kettleson, Johnson, and Palmer with Elliott and Landio on B. Puck is controlled by Ames. Brett Johnson trying to put on some pressure. Ames able to get it into the zone, tries to pass it across off of DJ's stick into the corner. Puck still in the corner. DJ is trying to harass the player. Shot deflected into the corner. Got Kettleson in chase. Puck stuck into feet. We got a four-player battle going on beside the boards with George Lanyo and Jack Kettleson. Puck comes back around. Breck Johnson tries to pop it out, but Ames is able to then keep it in. And we've got a goal to Ames on a delayed penalty call. Ensuing faceoff has Monty, Hunt, and Durf out there. Puck ends up into the side on Ames' stick. They throw it into the zone. Liam Smith first one to it, passes it over to Maverick. Maverick with a very hard shot pass that goes and turns into an icing. And looks like we're going to get a penalty here. Not sure what the call ended up being. Well, face-off is going to be coming in the offensive zone for your Rough Riders. We've got Sebring, Peddleston, Domke, Rasmussen, and Zek out there. Face-off is controlled by your riders. Try to get it in on net. Puck's now back in deep. Player Domke brings it up to the point. Maverick Rasmussen has it. Pressured really hard, loses the puck. Corbin trying to chase after the player for it, skating back and forth a little bit. And Maverick comes in and checks them. And we're going to have a penalty to the Rough Riders. Going to have a little bit of 4-on-4 action here for a bit. Face off one for the Riders. Jack Peddleson with the puck. Puck then knocked in deep. Corbin Zek with it. Corbin throws it up to the point, manages to get it through. Gavin Sebring putting on some pressure, along with Jack Peddleson. Puck goes into the middle. Ames able to get it. Player opposite back up to the point. Corbin blocks a shot out in front. Puck goes back out to the point. Gavin Sebring going to have a chance to get a little mini breakaway here. Shot goes onto the goalie's pad. Puck almost in. Puck still loose in front of the net. Jack Peddleson shoots it off of the goalie's mask. Jack shoots it again off of the goalie's glove and to Ames. Ames puts it out into the neutral zone, then skates it into the offensive zone. Hard pass that doesn't connect. Corbin Zek's going to be first for them. Hits it hard, and that's going to likely turn into an icing. Ames player is out of the box, and Maverick will be rejoining the players on the ice in about 5 seconds. Face-off won by Ames. Back out to the point. Shot that is blocked out in front. DJ putting on some pressure behind the net. Doesn't quite get it connected. And into Jackson Baker's glove. And we've got another stoppage in play. All right, ensuing face-off is controlled by your riders. DJ puts it very softly into the defensive zone. No icing here. Jackson Hunt with some pressure. Now coming in, hard shot on net. Baker able to make a good save. And now we're going to have another penalty coming. Ooh. Big collision between a couple of Ames Flyers players. And your Roughriders are going to get a penalty for checking. About 9 minutes remaining in the second period here. Face-off is won by Ames. Ames has it at the point. Claire is able to knock it off of a stick. Another shot from the point, off of Baker's glove, into the corner. Jack Peddleson on pressure. Shot blocked by DJ. Another shot off of the post. Pass out of the zone to Claire Domke. Knocked down to Jack Pedalson's stick. Jack tries to get it through. Doesn't quite get it through everybody. Maverick able to steal the puck at the blue line. And then puck is stopped there. Ames able to then steal it back. Jack Peddleson with the puck. Tried to wheel it through, but wasn't quite able to. Very segmented play right now. Mavericks with it in the zone. Off of the goalie's pad. Claire Domke putting on some pressure. Rough Riders on the penalty kill here. Puck coming in. Shot and into Baker's glove. We have a save. 15 seconds remaining in the penalty to George Lanyow. We've got Zach Elliott, Hunt, and... Okay, let's try this again. We've got Sebring, Hunt, Hansen, and Monty out there, I think. Puck bouncing off some feet. Now dropped into the corner. Corbin's got it behind the net. Corbin clears it around to an Ames player. Gavin Sebring's got the puck behind the net. Passes it up towards Flynn Hansen. Flynn and an Ames player collide right up by the boards there. Puck gets shot off target behind the net. Corbin Zek putting on some pressure. Gavin Sebring gets it behind the net. Who uses a nifty move to get himself into some space. Tries to pass it up to Flynn Hansen. Ames player right on his back though. Flynn Hansen putting on some pressure. Ames speeding it in. Pass goes across through the slot, doesn't connect with anything, ends up in the corner. Ames has control, up to the point. Dumped back in a little bit. Gavin Sebring tries to get it in, but we have an offside. All right, ensuing face-off, we've got Sebring, Zek, Donkey, Smith, and Elliott. Puck goes into the corner. Zek first there. Zek tries to get it into the middle. Ames is there first, though. Liam's able to step up and keep the puck in. Knock the puck off of his stick. Corbin knocks it deeper. Gavin Sebring in trying to break up the play, is able to get the puck, brings it round back the other way. Corbin Zek and an Ames player on there. Liam Smith able to get it back in. Ames has got 3 players coming in, 3-on-1 with Elliott and Baker. And goal. 3-on-1's a pretty hard situation, and they played that about as best as you could. That was a Really good pass reception and a very nice shot. Boxes are all cleared. Face off won by Ames. Ames bringing it into the zone. Then Ellis Palmer able to steal the puck for a second, and then puck ended up right in front of the net. Puck's back up to the point, shot from the point, and goal. Ensuing face-off was dropped unfairly, so we will try again. Got Hunt, Hansen, and Zek out there, along with Elliott and Smith. Puck goes back to Smith, tries to get it up. DJ puts some pressure on, causes shot to go out wide. Puck's now coming behind the net. DJ wedging things off well. Puck's up to Zach, off of an Ames skate. Ames pulling it into the zone. Shot and save. Hunt in the face-off shot. Face-off to Ames. Shot gets blocked. Liam Smith hits it hard. Ends up in an icing. Puck coming back down to the Riders' defensive zone. Face-off is now controlled by your Riders. Liam tries to clear it once off of a stick. Jackson Durf gets it. Knocked off of his stick by an Ames player. DJ up trying to steal. Ends up getting stolen back by a second Ames player. And goal Ames. Two minutes remaining in the second period here. Face off controlled by Cedar Rapids for a second. Maverick rescues him with it. Bounces it into the zone for Wyatt. Not quite connecting. And now puck goes deep into the zone. We are going to play on here. Puck into the middle with Jack Peddleson. Puck now over to a Ames player off of the post. Shot goes over the net to Ellis Palmer. Ellis has the puck. Hits it. And looks like we're going to get another icing here. We're going to play on. Riders giving some pressure. Maverick able to steal it for a second. Jack Kettleson skates it behind the net. Less than a minute to go. Brings it around, trying to get it to Wyatt, but finds an Ames stick instead. George finds it. Pops it behind the net. Unfortunately, an Ames player is there. Gets popped out in front, out of the zone. Right, Ames hits it back in. Shot that just ends up falling to an Ames player, but they're able to put in off of a hand. Face-off is won by Ames into the defensive zone for the Riders. Puck comes out. Gavin Sebring's able to get onto it, and we are done with the second period. Now in our second intermission, your Riders having an incredibly challenging day. This is the time to be like a goldfish and start working towards trying to just play a little bit better. Getting to the end of the second intermission here in our second game of the day. I do want to thank everybody for listening in. Please remember to like and subscribe so that we can continue doing this going forward. The intermission is over. Riders are coming out for the third period. And so we face off. Has Ames coming in. Shot goes off of the goalie's pad. Baker's battling really hard, able to grab the puck, and we have a stoppage. Face-off is won over to the glass. George Lanio has the puck, tries to put it up to Corbin Zek. There are 4 Ames players there. And we are going to have a penalty for roughing on the Ames Flyers. Face-off is 1 to Ames. Ames skating it out to the zone, but Corbin Zek was able to stop the rush a bit with his foot. Still stuck over on the boards here. Now dumped into the zone, and the Ames player is pressuring Maverick hard. Corbin gets the puck, tosses it up to the point. Jack tries to get it, but gets his stick stuck in some skates. Pass up to Gavin Sebring. Gavin Sebring's got the puck, picks his head up. There is a 3-on-3 situation going. Passes it over to Claire Domke on the other side. Clara tries to pass it to Jack Kettleson, but he's not able to grab it. Corbin gets it at the point, tries a shot, blocked out in front. Puck back up to the point, tries another shot, and it ends up out of the zone. Hunt pushes it over to Maverick Rasmussen on the other side. Maverick dumps it in. The Riders are changing the power play line up behind the play. Puck is stuck in an Ames player's feet. Back to Maverick Rasmussen. Maverick over DJ. DJ with the puck. Passes it up to Flynn. Flynn tries to get in a little bit deeper, but unfortunately right to an Ames player. Ames coming in with some speed. Puck's outside of the net. Still kind of stuck in the corner here. DJ's able to grab it. DJ tries to put it up, but it goes off of the Flyers defenseman at the point. Puck stuck in the corner. Mavericks on the ice. And goal for the Flyers. Face off 1 to the Riders. Ellis puts it in a little bit deeper. Ames has it. Ellis now pressuring. And we're going to get a penalty here to Ames. Another power play. Kettleson with the faceoff, wins it back to Mavericks, shot into the goalie's body, and stop. And so we face off one again, off Mavericks' stick to the corner. Tries a shot, but stopped in the center of the ice. Rough Riders are going to have to hustle back as Ames is coming in with some speed. Puck comes across the player Domke. Now pressure on her. Puck stuck in some skates. Gavin Sebring's got it. Tries to pass it up to Claire. Off of her feet. Claire is in a race with the puck, and we are going to play it. Jack Pettleson now putting on some pressure. Ames bringing it into the zone. Shot goes off of Baker's stick into the corner. Corbin trying to put on some pressure. Puck ends up out of the zone. And your Riders are coming on the forecheck. Paradomke in on the forecheck. Puck is up to a Flyers player. Flyers player keeps bringing it in. Shot goes over the net to Breck Johnson. Breck passes it up to Jackson Hunt. Over to Jackson Durf. Tries to bring it through, but ends up finding some legs instead. Jackson Hunt still after the puck into the corner. Ames rings it up. Jackson Durf able to grab it. Backhands it down a little bit lower, but stolen by Ames. Puck comes back to an Ames player. Off of a stick. And Brett Johnson able to get it cleared out. Ames able to bring it back in. DJ able to poke the puck off. Jackson Hunt gets a pass intercepted off of DJ's push from the Ames player. And Jackson Hunt with the puck. Trying to get it in deeper. DJ Elliott pressuring, forces the early pass. Puck back in. Shot off the side of the net for a missed shot. Puck back across. Ames is able to win the race there. George able to get it behind the net. Hey, Jackson Hunt's got the puck, bringing it out of the zone. Skating hard. Tries to bring it through. Canceled out in the corner. Lynn tries to put it out front. Shot from DJ gets through. Jackson Hunt with a couple of hacks at it, trying to get it back in, but nope, doesn't quite get there. Puck's now stuck in the corner a little bit. Okay. Puck's now back to the Riders to regroup. Puck ends up into the offensive zone. Onside. Ames coming in. Tries a shot. Partially blocked. Goes over the net. Maverick wedged off of the puck. Backhand shot goes over the net. 5 minutes left in the third period here. And saved by Baker and covered. Ensuing face-off is controlled by your Riders. Corbin Zek able to get it into the neutral zone. Ames on the puck. Pass up, chipped into the zone. Breck Johnson chasing it on D. Able to use his body to shield. Maverick Rasmussen with the puck behind the net. Couple of Ames players on him tight. Up to Corbin on the boards. Got a little bit stuck. Puck kept on going up the boards. Puck's now back to Corbin after the steal. Corbin with a little bit of a self pass in a race for the puck, and we've got a check on Ames. Your Rough Riders are going back to the power play. Face off is over to the side. Pucks to your Riders in the side. Tries to get it across. Ellis Palmer needs to try to shield the puck. Unfortunately, lost the battle to Ames. Ames passes it in off of some skates. We are not going to have an icing. Maverick with the puck. Top on his stick. Nothing called. Puck goes up to the point. Ames with the puck. Ellis in trying to steal it back. Jack able to grab it. Not able to get it out. Puck's back on Jack Peddleson's stick. Jack has the puck. Skating it out of the zone. Backhand pass across. Tried to get a connection with Liam Smith. Wasn't able to quite get there. Ames able to bring it into the zone. Off of Breck Johnson's foot. Liam Smith with the puck. Didn't realize there was someone behind him. And ended up losing that puck battle. Puck off of the goalie's pads into the corner. Jackson Baker with a nice save there. Puck goes hard onto the sideboards. Ames with the puck. Trying to get all regrouped together. Puck across. And Cedar Rapids able to not let a good scoring chance. Puck goes over to Jackson Hunt. Jackson going to be first to it. Ames player on it. Off of the goalie's pads to the corner. Puck coming up. Van Hansen's able to steal it. Hey, and we got another penalty coming. So because I was watching the play, I didn't get to see, but they were calling a cross check on the goalie. So got another power play for your Rough Riders. Face off is one to your Riders. But Ames is able to get control. Ames player skates it in, tries a shot off of the netting, and not in. Back out to the point. Clara putting in some hot pursuit. Puck is behind the net. Is now full strength, I believe. 1 minute remaining in the third period. Puck over to Maverick, passes it up to Clara. Able to get it just out of the zone. But there is a whole bunch of Ames players there, so things get all clogged up. Player is able to steal it back. Pucks bounce back into the zone. Corbin able to go back and retrieve. 30 seconds remaining in the period. And tripped behind the net. And that's going to be just about the game, as it's going to take a hot second to get the player into the box. And it sounds like that's going to be your game. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Not the results that we wanted. So the team will get back at it again this week and going to be looking for some better results on next Saturday, I believe. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Please like and subscribe.